the famous Valerie Jardin.
Hi, Karen.
How are you?
Bonjour. I'm doing great. How are you?
I have to practice my French
That's right.
because I'm
You're
coming.
going.
I'm coming to Paris with you.
You're going to Paris. Yay!
Woohoo! I'm very, very, very excited about this. I'm coming as a guest of, I would say a guest instructor, except this is street photography. So frankly, I'm going to be all ears. This is
You're
new.
going to be one of the students
I know, I
there.
totally am, and I'm so excited. The landscape girl goes to the big city with the expert in Paris.
Well, I'm so excited. This is going to be a lot of fun. So it's going to be in May for 6 days. And we're going to have a blast. We're going to do it all. We're going to do street photography, of course, and for a lot of the participants, it's going to be a new experience. But we're going to do a lot of other things because the goal after the week is for you to put together your own book of what Paris means to you and
Oh,
shoot your own iconic images of the most visited city in the world.
oh my goodness. And with somebody who grew up there and who knows it like the back of her hand. I've never had that experience. I've only ever been there once, but it was definitely
Yeah.
it was for a job. It wasn't for photography, it was for voiceover. And so we just kind of ran around and went, well, we're close to this. Let's go see this.
That's right. You want to see it all, and then you end up seeing nothing. And here it's like we're going to try to get off the beaten path as much as possible, really take our time to absorb the culture. And I want it to be, and they always are because that's home for me. And that's the one that's the most special. I teach all over the world because I can teach whatever I teach anywhere. As long as I have a guide with me, but here it's home. It's my territory, and I want it to be as much a cultural experience as it is a photographic experience. So
That is so awesome. So, like, landscape is a lot of, I often think that, because I love old architecture, not so much the new stuff, but the old stuff. And whenever I'm there or in, in places like that, it always strikes me how similar it is to certain kinds of landscapes with all the structures and things like that. So I'm really excited to see the architecture, to photograph that, but on top of it, learn how to photograph people on the streets, which I always avoid. And I'm like,
yeah, well,
I'm,
it's great. And when you're in a place like Paris, I mean, the people are just the soul of the place. And I think it'd be a shame to come home with images that don't include the locals. So you're going to be doing a
right.
lot of that, whether it's street portraits where you have an interaction, or candid street photography where there is a story happening in a frame, or even silhouettes and things like that. So it's just it's about incorporating people, but it's a lot more than that too. I mean, the street photography is the main aspect of the workshop, but it's
Mhm.
also about telling a story. So you're going to need a lot of those detail shots, details in architecture, all those people don't think of those shots sometimes, but when they come home and they want to put that book together, yes, they need the big picture. But if you look like at a magazine and there is a story on a city, it's all those little vignette shots, those detail shots, they're going to link your story together. And so it's photographing menus and some food and things like that to kind of link it together, and that will
Wow.
make their photo album even more exciting.
It's sort of like coming home with a bunch of photos of your vacation, only every shot is fantastic.
That's the goal.
Yeah. Well, and I've heard you talk about this before, so I wanted you to mention on this recording, which is something I hadn't really ever thought about before, which is like color, using
Yeah.
color as a theme.
Oh, and it's a wonderful way to I always think that it's overwhelming when you visit a new place, and it's good to go with a theme in mind. Doesn't mean you're going to miss anything else, but at least you know you're going to have a really good series of images with that theme. So if you pick a color in a city like Paris, like you could pick French blue, for example. A lot of things are that deep blue, and then you're going to photograph little details like doors and windows and anything, magazines that have that same color blue, people wearing that same color blue, and then you end up with a series that could be awesome on your wall, of all those shots of that same color theme. So that is fun to include in a book.
That's very cool. And shooting in series is always really interesting. Like, I've seen people, and I don't know if they think about this ahead of time or not, but you'll see sometimes photographers do like a series of 3 of something.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you think about that while at the time. Yeah?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes people see that, but after the fact, it's like, oh, I should have thought of that. And well, that's my job during, throughout the week to remind them, say, don't forget, that's a pretty cool menu there. You could photograph that, or, tilt your camera, make it look a little more dynamic, because that's a picture you'll probably use not as a big picture in your album, but one of those little vignette shots, or even like, how hotel keys sometimes are so pretty. They
Yeah.
have that thing hanging from them with the brass and then the little colorful little ribbons or something.
Mm-hmm.
They make wonderful pictures, and usually they have the name of the hotel. So that in an album looks really great. And then you add a lot of pictures of local people going about their daily lives with their baguettes and their dog, and then you really have a wonderful album. And it's the point of making really your own iconic images.
And then it becomes, go ahead.
People think of Paris, they think of the Eiffel Tower, and then they get there and they realize it's so much more than that. And their memory of Paris is definitely not going to be the Eiffel Tower. It's going to be maybe the bakery down the street or the cafe at the corner, and that's going to be what Paris means to them.
And that then becomes a model. That way of approaching it becomes a model you can use anywhere you go.
Exactly, yeah.
I love it. So we're going to be shooting photos, and then you and I are going to be doing video. We're going to do some little interviews and maybe some little like instructional things, and just a variety pack of content, so that it'll feel like we're bringing everybody along with us.
It's going to be a busy week, and I'm probably going to do a recording for my podcast, Street Focus. So you'll participate, and whoever in the workshop wants to participate, and do a Q&A. It'll be really fun too. So. Well,
I'm going to try and also do a virtual photo walk so that I can literally bring everybody with me, which is my dream of anywhere that I go. I want to try and do that, so it isn't like I go and then say, "Hey, I went there." It's like we went. I love that, and so we're gonna try and do that as well.
We're gonna have a busy week.
Busy week. Maybe we should stay for 2. What do you
That's right. And that's going to be May 23rd to the 29th. So there are only 2 or 3 spots left. So they fill up really quickly.
Get in there. Maybe some of my people will come. Some of my landscape people who have kind of looked over your direction, gone, could I? Should I?
Join Karen is going to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go immerse myself in something I have never, ever done, and I'm really excited about it. So thank you, Valerie Jardin. We'll be talking more for sure, and maybe we'll have some tips along the way, but even before we go. So
that's right. That's 6 months away, so
I know.
It's going to be here before we know it.
I know. And you're busy, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for doing this and for helping me make this wonderful announcement, because we're excited, and I'm excited to bring everybody along with us.
I am too. See you soon, Karen.
Bye, Valerie.
Au revoir.
Well, I'll learn how to say that too.
You will.
Bye.
Bye.